Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A restraint incorporated into the ignition switch to prevent the use of a vehicle by persons who do not have the key. Place in a place where something cannot be removed or someone cannot escape. The parents locked her daughter up for the weekend. Enclosure consisting of a section of canal that can be closed to control the water level, used to raise or lower vessels that pass through it. Hold in a locking position. He locked his hands around her neck. Keep engaged. A strand or cluster of hair. Become engaged or intermeshed with one another. They were locked in embrace. A fastener fitted to a door or drawer to keep it firmly closed. A mechanism that detonates the charge of a gun. Any wrestling hold in which some part of the opponent's body is twisted or pressured. Become rigid or immovable. The therapist noticed that the patient's knees tended to lock in this exercise. Build locks in order to facilitate the navigation of vessels. Fasten with a lock. Lock the bike to the fence. Hold fast, in a certain state. He was locked in a laughing fit. Pass by means through a lock in a waterway. A restraint incorporated into the ignition switch to prevent the use of a vehicle by persons who do not have the key. Place in a place where something cannot be removed or someone cannot escape. Close with or as if with a tight seal. Place in a place where something cannot be removed or someone cannot escape. Place in a place where something cannot be removed or someone cannot escape. Secure by locking. Lock up the house before you go on vacation. Lock up or confine, in or as in a jail. Eat up. Usually refers to a considerable quantity of food. Kill gently, as with an injection. Place in a place where something cannot be removed or someone cannot escape. Turn away from and put aside, perhaps temporarily. It's time for you to put away childish things. Throw or cast away. Stop using. The children were told to put away their toys. Place in a place where something cannot be removed or someone cannot escape. Refuse to talk or stop talking. Fall silent. The children shut up when their father approached. Closely confined. Cause to be quiet or not talk. Place in a place where something cannot be removed or someone cannot escape. Enclosure consisting of a section of canal that can be closed to control the water level, used to raise or lower vessels that pass through it. Spin, wind, or twist together. Hold in a locking position. A device that prevents an automotive engine from starting. Car. The Ives know how to bypass the ignition interlock. The act of interlocking or meshing. An interlocking of arms by the police held the crowd in check. Coordinate in such a way that all parts work together effectively. Hold in a locking position. Become engaged or intermeshed with one another. Consume all of one's attention or time. Carry out or participate in an activity. Be involved in. They engaged in a discussion. Engage or hire for work. Give to in marriage. Carry on, wars, battles, or campaigns. Engage for service under a term of contract. Keep engaged. Engage the gears. Hire for work or assistance. Engage aid, help, services, or support. Ask to represent. Of legal counsel. Get caught. Make sure the gear is engaged. The topology of a network whose components are all connected directly to every other component. The act of interlocking or meshing. An open fabric of string or rope or wire woven together at regular intervals. Contact by fitting together. The meshing of gears. Coordinate in such a way that all parts work together effectively. Entangle or catch in, or as if in, a mesh. Keep engaged. The number of openings per linear inch of a screen. Measure size of particles. A 100 mesh screen. Work together in harmony. Handle and cause to function. Do not operate machinery after imbibing alcohol. Perform as expected when applied. Perform surgery on. The doctors operated on the patient but failed to save his life. Direct or control. Projects, businesses, etc. Perform a movement in military or naval tactics in order to secure an advantage in attack or defense. Keep engaged. Wind around something in coils or loops. Form a curl, curve, or kink. The cigar smoke curled up at the ceiling. A round shape formed by a series of concentric circles, as formed by leaves or flower petals. American chemist who with Richard Smalley and Harold Kroto discovered fullerenes and opened a new branch of chemistry, born in 1933. Twist or roll into coils or ringlets. Curl my hair, please. A strand or cluster of hair. Shape one's body into a curl. She curled farther down under the covers. Play the Scottish game of curling. Any of various butterflies belonging to the family Satiridae. A round shape formed by a series of concentric circles, as formed by leaves or flower petals. A strand or cluster of hair. A small ring. A structure consisting of something wound in a continuous series of loops. A round shape formed by a series of concentric circles, as formed by leaves or flower petals. A strand or cluster of hair. The state of being physically constrained. Dogs should be kept under restraint. Lack of ornamentation. The room was simply decorated with great restraint. Discipline in personal and social activities. He was a model of polite restraint. A device that retards something's motion. The car did not have proper restraints fitted. A rule or condition that limits freedom. Legal restraints. The act of controlling by restraining someone or something. The unlawful restraint of trade. The state of being physically constrained. A device that retards something's motion. The act of constraining. The threat or use of force to control the thoughts or behavior of others. Deprive of freedom. Take into confinement. Close in. place limits on, extent or amount or access. To close within bounds, or otherwise limit or deprive of free movement. Prevent from leaving or from being removed. Something, usually a supporting document, that is enclosed in an envelope with a covering letter. The act of enclosing something inside something else. A naturally enclosed space. A structure consisting of an area that has been enclosed for some purpose. Assume control. Have or hold in one's hands or grip. Be capable of holding or containing. The flask holds 1 gallon. Be pertinent or relevant or applicable. This theory holds for all irrational numbers. Have or possess, either in a concrete or an abstract sense. She holds a master's degree from Harvard. Be the physical support of, carry the weight of. The beam holds up the roof. Resist or confront with resistance. A state of being confined, usually for a short time. The prisoner is on hold. Lessen the intensity of, temper, hold in restraint, hold or keep within limits. Hold your tongue. Drink alcohol without showing ill effects. He can hold his liquor. Cause to stop. Have room for, hold without crowding. The auditorium can't hold more than 500 people. Time during which some action is awaited. He ordered a hold in the action. Have or hold in one's hands or grip. A crazy idea took hold of him. Organize or be responsible for. Hold a reception. The appendage to an object that is designed to be held in order to use or move it. Be valid, applicable, or true. This theory still holds. Protect against a challenge or attack. Maintain, a theory, thoughts, or feelings. To close within bounds, or otherwise limit or deprive of free movement. This holds the local until the express passengers change trains. Keep in mind or convey as a conviction or view. Hold these truths to be self-evident. The space in a ship or aircraft for storing cargo. Have rightfully, of rights, titles, and offices. Contain or hold, have within. The canteen holds fresh water. Bind by an obligation, cause to be indebted. I'll hold you by your promise. A cell in a jail or prison. Be in accord, be in agreement. I hold with those who say life is sacred. The act of grasping. She kept a firm hold on the railing. Secure and keep for possible future use or application. Cause to continue in a certain state, position, or activity, e.g., keep clean. Hold in place. Support or hold in a certain manner. She holds her head high. Declare to be. Understanding of the nature or meaning or quality or magnitude of something. Arrange for and reserve something for someone else in advance. Please hold a table at Maxim's. Aim, point, or direct. Assert or affirm. Rousseau's philosophy holds that people are inherently good. A stronghold. Cover as for protection against noise or smell. Hold one's nose. Have as a major characteristic. The novel holds many surprises. Hold the attention of. She can hold an audience spellbound. Keep from departing. Keep from exhaling or expelling. Hold your breath. Power by which something or someone is affected or dominated. He has a hold over them. Remain committed to. I hold to these ideas. Remain in a certain state, position, or condition. Stop dealing with. Hold all calls to the President's office while he is in a meeting. Take and maintain control over, often by violent means. Give an incentive for action. This moved me to sacrifice my career. Be in a state of action. Change location. Move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. The soldiers moved towards the city in an attempt to take it before night fell. The act of changing location from one place to another. The movement of people from the farms to the cities. Cause to move or shift into a new position or place, both in a concrete and in an abstract sense. The director moved more responsibilities onto his new assistant. Perform an action, or work out or perform an action. We must move quickly. The act of changing your residence or place of business. They say that 3 moves equal 1 fire. Have a turn. Make one's move in a game. Have an emotional or cognitive impact upon. Follow a procedure or take a course. A change of position that does not entail a change of location. Movement as a sign of life. Progress by being changed. Propose formally, in a debate or parliamentary meeting. Arouse sympathy or compassion in. Her fate moved us all. Change residence, affiliation, or place of employment. We moved from Idaho to Nebraska. Dispose of by selling. The chairman of the company told the salesman to move the computers. Game. A player's turn to take some action permitted by the rules of the game. Go or proceed from one point to another. The debate moved from family values to the economy. Live one's life in a specified environment. She moves in certain circles only. Move so as to change position, perform a non-translational motion. He moved his hand slightly to the right. The act of deciding to do something. He didn't make a move to help. Cause to move or shift into a new position or place, both in a concrete and in an abstract sense. Take the place of or have precedence over. Terminate the employment of. Discharge from an office or position. Cause to move, usually with force or pressure. The refugees were displaced by the war. A very small distance or space. They escaped by a hair's breadth. Any of the cylindrical filaments characteristically growing from the epidermis of a mammal. There is a hair in my soup. Cloth woven from horsehair or camel hair, used for upholstery or stiffening in garments. Filamentous hair-like growth on a plant. A covering for the body, or parts of it, consisting of a dense growth of thread-like structures, as on the human head, helps to prevent heat loss. He combed his hair. A filamentous projection or process on an organism. To compress with violence, out of natural shape or condition. Squeeze a lemon. An aggressive attempt to compel acquiescence by the concentration or manipulation of power. To cause to do through pressure or necessity, by physical, moral or intellectual means. He squeezed her for information. A twisting squeeze. A state in which there is a short supply of cash to lend to businesses and consumers and interest rates are high. A tight or amorous embrace. Squeeze like a wedge into a tight space. I squeezed myself into the corner. Squeeze or press together. The act of gripping and pressing firmly. He gave her cheek a playful squeeze. Hold someone tightly in your arms, usually with fondness. Obtain by coercion or intimidation. They squeezed money from the owner of the business by threatening him. Press or force. Squeeze tightly between the fingers. She squeezed the bottle. A situation in which increased costs cannot be passed on to the customer. Increased expenses put a squeeze on profits. Press firmly. He squeezed my hand. Slang. A person's girlfriend or boyfriend. She was his main squeeze. The act of forcing yourself, or being forced, into or through a restricted space. Getting through that small opening was a tight squeeze. A tight or amorous embrace. Come here and give me a big hug. Hold someone tightly in your arms, usually with fondness. He hugged her close to him. Fit closely or tightly. The dress hugged her hips. A close, affectionate and protective acceptance. In the bosom of the family. The locus of feelings and intuitions. Her story would melt your bosom. Either of two soft fleshy milk secreting glandular organs on the chest of a woman. Hold someone tightly in your arms, usually with fondness. A person's breast or chest. Cloth that covers the chest or breasts. Hide in one's bosom. She bosomed his letters. The chest considered as the place where secret thoughts are kept. His bosom was bursting with the secret. Include in scope. Include as part of something broader. Have as one's sphere or territory. A close, affectionate and protective acceptance. His willing embrace of new ideas. The act of clasping another person in the arms, as in greeting or affection. Take up the cause, ideology, practice, method, of someone and use it as one's own. She embraced Catholicism. Hold someone tightly in your arms, usually with fondness. They embraced. The state of taking in or encircling. An island in the embrace of the sea. Restraint that attaches to something or holds something in place. Histology, the preservation and hardening of a tissue sample to retain as nearly as possible the same relations they had in the living body. The act of putting something in working order again. The sterilization of an animal.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.